Welcome back, everyone. This is Otsukimi. Hope you've had a good weekend. I'm going to go over some stocks for you all for this video. We're going to kind of keep it light and straight, high technicals, things like that. Some of my reasons why I'm picking these charts, stocks for pretty much the rest of the year. I don't really have an individual like, are they going to perform immediately? They're just charts. It's of stocks I have of interest. I'll give you the fundamental reason why, and then I'll back that up with charts, as I tend to do. So I will give you the list right away. However, I'm going to get rid of this here because it's more of crypto. We're going to look at IBM, which is already doing pretty good. I think it's already up like 5 or 7%, and I have a feeling it's going to do pretty well this week. We're going to look at PepsiCo. I think PepsiCo is looking pretty good. I think they are a beverage company, which is kind of hit or miss, but they are kind of taking the high road as far as health. And the chart looks pretty good, actually. I think the chart looks better than the fundamentals, but I think it still looks pretty good. Then we're going to look at NVO, which is Novo. They've been turning around a little bit with, Carrie Segma and Lilly and things like that. So I think that's really good, but also we're going to look at the charts to kind of back that up. Oracle, don't really need to explain much about Oracle. AI is doing good with that. They're heavily invested in open AI. There's some, we do talk about Google, which is the next one on the list is Google here, and Apple. Those are pretty obvious. Google is really focusing on, Anthropic. I think Amazon is as well. Um, and to be honest, I don't know if Oracle may be in Anthropic, but they are focusing on OpenAI, and I think Microsoft is too. So it's very interesting because you have some stocks that are quite divided on how they're approaching the LLM aspect of AI, and so we'll take a look at that. And so then Google and Apple, of course, self-explanatory, two big powerhouses, and then we're gonna look at Robinhood. I think doesn't really, in my opinion, doesn't need to be explained, but for those of you that maybe aren't in touch with Robinhood, they've been doing a lot of things lately. They've completely changed since I first started using them in 2017. They they integrated the Trump accounts. They integrated AI trading or agent trading, whatever it's called. It's going pretty good. You can do your IRAs on there now. You can do joint accounts. You can do credit cards. You can do all sorts of stuff as well. And so, um, yeah, that's going to be the list. So let's get started. By the way, like this is going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on X as well. But if you're not a member of my group, you can go ahead and join. I'm actually going to start reopening my Discord for my premium members. It's something that I had previously locked. I was using Patreon as a way to do that. I'm going to go back fully to Discord, and also going to give discount pricing as well. And so look forward to that. Hit me up, DM me, whatever. Send me a message in the replies, and I'll try to send you an invite. So let's get started here. We're going to get IBM first. And so I've already explained the fundamentals for each one, so I'm just going to go over the charts, honestly. So if we go to the IBM here, this chart is actually, what's currently on here is what we've been talking about in our premium group. And so we're almost at target already. And so you can see here, this is what happened. This is your gap that it kind of just jumped up, right? And so from this candle alone is like 7.5%. So it's going pretty good. Will this continue to go down or not? So I'm going to try to look at what's going to happen perhaps the next 24 hours. And then I'm going to kind of go on what I think might happen overall. So your biggest factor here is you have all of this here. I'm actually going to zoom this up for the weekly and then quantify the order block section. And you can see here we're kind of already in the mid, so I'm going to reduce that here. So we could get a rejection here, honestly. And it's going to be tough because we have this gap. Do we fill gaps or not? I am personally not a gap person. I think it tends to be more about chasing rabbits and self-fulfilling. Like, I think it could be a good strategy. I'm not saying it's not. It's just something that hasn't worked for me. And I have my own method of trading. I've been doing this for about 10, 12 years now. And so this is what I'm looking at. So with this here, we could get a rejection here. And those of you that are my premium members, a lot of you guys are probably watching this video. This could be a good time to take profit. And so we usually cover these on Wednesdays, and by Wednesday, this might be, closed already. So Vegas looks pretty good, but for everybody else, I think it's worth noting that you have a very clear section. So you had a climb going up really for the past 2 years. Then you had a very almost like a wall, and then we had a rejection. You had a divergence, bullish divergence on the weekly. What I tend to do typically. I look for high time frame bullish divergences. It's one of the easiest things to look at. Those of you that have known me for more than a year know you know that I annoy you probably with high time frame bull divs. One of the obvious of obvious things that you could possibly do to look at. So, in my opinion, it's not financial advice though. But what you have here is you got your order block, you got your push up to the, and could reject here. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But what I'm looking at here is a clear break above the 310 market, really just above the 309. I'm going to do probably right around 310 and look at where something like this, and this could be a pretty tight stop. And so that's just something to be aware. But I think it's actually going to go to 400, possibly even 500. And so this is kind of what I'm looking at. And I'm going to put both here to kind of see what I'm looking at. And so both of these, I think, could be very manageable. 3.73 and an 8R for both of those. And so I think IBM is looking pretty good here, in my opinion. I have no reason to think that this is going to, you know, just fall apart. It's IBM, right? And it's already down. It's already had the weekly div. It's already pumping up pretty good. Arun had its first buy signal on it in 3 years, and I think that was on the monthly time frame. But I think this looks really good. This is, in my opinion, probably the best one on the chart. Let's go ahead and go to PepsiCo though. Go to the Nasdaq on here. A little bit of a drop down here, and that's fine. One thing I really want to look at here is you kind of have the drop down. You kind of have a little consolidation. This might be the trickiest chart that we're going to be looking at. I want to go up to, let's see, 2-week chart. I think so. Actually, let's just go up to the month chart, because I think this is going to be a little bit more of a longer high time frame version here. For me, it's really just about get the trend line here. You do have, where's it at? Where's the tool at? Look at this section like here, and so you got the drop down, and so that's obviously not that great. But actually, you know what? I'm gonna get rid of both of these and show you something even better, because you got the high and the low here, and so we're just kind of waiting for a reclaim of this. So if we can get a reclaim of that 160, I think that we're good to go. This one's more of a fundamental play. The chart doesn't really look that great, in my opinion, but it is recoverable if we can get above that 160. And so we'll see, what that looks like. I'm not so sure how beverage companies are going to work themselves out, but they've been doing better they had been doing okay. I actually want to briefly go to Coca-Cola and see how they're doing, because they were doing much better here. And so this is another reason I think that PepsiCo might just be lagging, perhaps. And so that's something I'm looking at as well. So let's go to Invio. Novo. And so here, chart looks terrible from the get-go. You have the blow, kind of a top off, things like that. But you have a weekly div, and that's what I say earlier about IBM. You got these great weekly divs. So you also have this order block section right here. Got the div playing out here, and so this could play one or two ways. You could do a long signal at current, a little bit riskier, but it's, in my opinion, fine, because you got 25% stop loss to the lows. Target the high is very simple, 8.5 R for 215%. I think that's perfectly fine. The other option is really just the same thing, except for you're waiting to go above the zone to get that break above at 59.27. It's going to be a 3.46. I think both of them are fine. In my opinion, I actually like the 8.5 R, even though it's at resistance, because you have a 25% stop loss. I think that's pretty good. You could also increase this here if you wanted to, and this would be a 6.3. I don't like this necessarily, because your stop loss is basically the entry from the previous one, and that tends to be a no-go for me. Although this is a clean level to work with, so just keep that in mind. I think both of these are good. I like both of these equally, but that's Novo. I think with the weekly div in general, this is in my opinion, a pretty sensible a chart. So let's go to Oracle. All right, Oracle, massive past couple weeks. Again, this was a member video. This has been going pretty well. We're in profits for both of these. I think it's really going to continue. I'll make a third position here, really just for everyone. And so this is going to be a little bit wider. Actually, I think I'm going to tighten this up just a little bit and get it above this level here. I think this is a solid level to work with, because you also have this order block on this side. I'll extend that down just a hair, and then extend this down just a little bit too. So this one is the position of interest, I think. And so you could target that same target there for about a 2R for 39%. I think this could go higher. I think, and this tends to happen with regular stocks in general, you don't typically hit the top and hit a double top and then you come down. Double tops, even though I'm looking at one right here, double tops don't tend to happen as much. They happen a lot more in crypto than they do in stocks, but I will leave that up to user discretion. But I like that run personally. So, Google. I think this was also a member video, but I think we recently closed this one. And so one thing here, I don't really like the div, nothing like that, but I think this will continue to rally. I think we'll probably get close. Speaking of gaps, we could get the mid of this gap, or let's see, middle of this at like 361. So I think that's probably the best option for me. 361, stop loss underneath here, underneath that level, and then we target 450. Let's see, up there. It's about 2.72 for 23%. And I think that's pretty conservative, honestly. I think it could continue to go higher. We'll see. It's gone pretty vertical thus far, but it wouldn't surprise me if it continues up another leg. And then you also kind of have like this trend line. Like if it continues to go, it's going to go even more vertical. We'll see how that goes. This might take a couple days to play out, a couple weeks to play out, but I think that could work. Let's go to Apple. AAPL. Let's see. And so for this one, this was also a member video that's going pretty well. As you can see, our entry was 275. We're with a target about 350. We're almost there. This one's going to be a little tricky because it's already up quite a bit. I think this will continue to rally till WWDC, which I believe is in a couple weeks, and then it might pivot a little bit downwards. What I think, if this does, you have two options. If this continues to go down, you might have a re-entry here at about 279. I think that might not get there. I have a hard time thinking it's going to go there, but it could maybe reach like the early 300s, like right around here, based off the confluence of these two levels. I don't think I can confidently give you a position on this, but I do think this is a very good momentum play. And again, it's Apple, right? It's so interesting. Like these charts just tend to keep going up and up and up and up. And those of you that are in crypto, like I've been, we're not used to this, right? We're used to it going back and down. Sell, you have to sell all this stuff, and so just something to keep in mind. I think this will probably continue to run. I think it still could go down. If it does, again, roughly right around 300 is probably my target to re-enter. But I think it's going to hit that 350 though as well. Let's go to Robinhood. Again, it's another member play. Those of you that are members, I hope you guys aren't upset at me. I'm giving them like 5 charts, but we cover like 15 of them. So one thing I like about this, there's no divergence here. There wasn't one here. But you got to reclaim the 50. You got a high bullish cross at 53%, almost 54. So that's good. Everything's solid. These are both entry level plays. I think this is your weekly open, or your well, at least from what I'm looking at here. And so I think your level is probably okay with this, because this is actually like, could be a spring. I don't really care. I don't really call it a spring. It's just a reclaim. Okay, you push down, reclaim, retest, push upwards. So that makes this level confident enough to where you could target all-time highs. And I honestly, I don't even. I think actually 200 would be just fine as well, because I don't necessarily have like these for the members are like swing trades, and so we do cover swing trades as well as long-term trades. But for this video, I'm kind of like I don't have a specific time frame in mind. So this could take a year, this could take 5 years, this could take 5 days. It doesn't matter necessarily. But I do think Robinhood's going to continue to grow, probably get that all-time high, and I think it looks pretty solid there. So that's a 4.7R for about 112%. So I think these are looking pretty good. There's several charts here that look like they're going to hit triple digits. So hopefully that's the case. So anyway, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed that. Again, if you're a member, you got a video coming up next. If you're interested in membership, go ahead and reply to this video. I'll give you a link. Let me know what you think. I'll see you next time.